So Oz Pearlman is a witch. I'm going to try to keep my composure in this video as much as possible. It's hard to. But we're going to take a look at a couple clips of Oz Pearlman, what he is doing, and I do not know how he has just flown under the radar this much, at least in my world. Maybe he's been in your world for some time now. He was on America's Got Talent. He's been on every major network out there. So he's not new to the game. He's not new to the field. His name and his face has been out there forever. But every video I watch of him, I just get mesmerized more and more, to the point now that I don't know if I am mesmerized at all. If that makes sense. I don't think it does, but it does in my world, because I see that it's no longer a magic trick. It is, he literally knows how to read someone's mind. All right, let's go. This first clip we're going to look at, this was on Joe Rogan and him reading it, telling Joe his PIN code, and he did a lot of other things, but we're going to take a look at this specifically.
It's not 2020. How'd I do, Joe? Is that your ATM PIN code?
Yeah, that's weird. I'm skeptical because I've got that PIN code in the mail, you know?
He's calling his bank right now and be like, Joe, do you know this? Has this guy been playing the long game?
Yeah, I don't like that.
Okay. All right, that one is just, that's kind of how I got introduced to Oz, really. I guess if I went back a little bit further, it was when I saw him on ESPN and he was just doing things with football, NFL stars, and just telling them what they're going to do before they do it. And it was really crazy. And I didn't know anything about him at the time. He went on Joe Rogan's podcast, and I'm so glad I watched it, because so many of Joe's shows I don't watch all the time, because a lot of times it just depends on the guest. And I randomly decided to click on this one because I didn't recognize the guy. A lot of the guys on there, they look the same. But I watched Oz and what he did, and then I just went down the rabbit hole, and I have yet to come out of the rabbit hole, and I'm almost suffocating. I'm so far down here. I don't know what to do, you know? But we're going to go, actually, he's been doing this for a while. It's that, and what almost blows my mind even more is I watch videos of things he's went on podcasts, and he's been doing this for almost years now, and there's so much footage of all these things, and he says the same stuff over and over, like, I'm reading people, I'm influencing them, I'm being the director, I'm pointing them where to look and all this. That is all smoke and mirrors. Him saying that is smoke and mirrors right there. He is reading people's minds. He knows it somehow. He's getting some type of intelligence. I don't know where from, but we're going to continue on. Actually, let me switch over. This was from Jake Paul's show, BS with Jake Paul. He's made, I don't need to go on the whole history of Jake Paul. Everybody knows who he is, but he's a famous YouTuber, boxer, just the ultimate marketing guru out there. And he had Oz. This was about a year ago, and it's got almost 200,000 views itself. When I watched this video, and I have not watched the whole thing through, I'm about halfway through right now, I can't believe it doesn't have 20 million views in what Oz did. It's crazy. But here's just a little thing of Jake just giving just honest to goodness, humble opinion. You are doing sorcery, dude.
Say Catherine.
You got questions over there.
Yeah, because it's your first crush. Like, it's not even that. Yeah.
You got a pen?
Yeah, I got a pen.
Yeah, pen's going to be too small when you write on it. Is there, you turn that sheet over.
No, that's fucked up, though. Like,
because you have room on there to write?
Yeah.
Your catch.
Sure
I'm tossing you a Sharpie.
No, you can't just do that. That is sorcery, brother.
Sorcery?
He's trying to move on.
And he's trying to say that you're not like a time traveler.
What the
And you can't,
bro?
you couldn't.
That's it. Just went back, came back.
You learned how to read people's minds.
I have been studying it for 25 years.
But I didn't do anything, and you read my mind.
Just, I want you to write this big, not with the pen, not with the pen. Here, catch. Catch Sharpie.
Sure.
Okay, here's the thing. Look this way.
All right, and he quickly moves on. He quickly moves on with the show. He never lets anybody just sit with it and stick with it and just ask him over and over, because he's so good at just deflecting and just changing the subject, saying the same things over and over. He tells these stories about, like, I have yet to see him get anything wrong, really wrong, literally wrong, because every time it does, and you could say he has all these option A, option B, option C, and then he goes to something else, and he's doing that. He's so good at it. I don't buy that. And he has these same stories of, like, when I did screw up, and when the toughest crowd I got was these elementary school kids, you know, his children's kids, of performing in front of them. and they're the harshest critics, and they're the ones that he's sweating in front of. He can't make it through because they're so tough on him. I'm having trouble believing that. I'm really having trouble believing that maybe that really happened, but it's very tough because everything that he does, it's perfect. It never goes wrong. It never goes wrong. Either he is omniscient or he's just getting some type of information from somewhere. And Jake Paul rightly calls it out. That's sorcery, dude. And I've heard Shane Gillis, burn him. He's a witch. We always say that, but I'm not literally saying let's burn him. But I don't understand why people aren't talking about this more. This is the thing that is blowing me away, that nobody is really diving into this, really putting him on the hot seat. When he starts getting, like, if he is where he is right now, let me switch one second. Okay. He is where he is right now. If he starts getting installed into some type of foreign relations and gets a position somewhere that has high authority, or just say he gets thrown into the negotiating table between countries, because this could really happen. And like, why the FBI isn't using him, why he hasn't, and he's been asked this over and over, but he's like, not yet. I'm maybe sometime, but not yet. I'm not there yet. And it's like, he was born in Israel. And when I heard that, and like, he's Israeli, he's Israel, that almost even gave me, like, you might listening to this not get the serious, like, kind of why that would cause me to pause, or why that even matters whatsoever. But that almost kind of like shook me a little bit. Like, this seemed like just a regular American dude, but he's from Israel. He was born in Israel. I'm going to let that float out there. And it might not mean anything to anyone, but it might be something you might want to take notice of. But if he gets actually gets put up there, so say this guy, he can read people's minds. He gets thrown into the negotiating table between countries. Say we want to know what the Ayatollah really are thinking, or what some other country is really thinking. You want to put him in the center between Israel and the Iran conflict. Maybe that is settling down. I doubt it is. They're going to still fight to the end each other. It's like, it's two different worlds colliding and ideologies, and one wants to wipe the other one off the face of the earth. But say Oz gets put into something where he can start bringing peace between countries. I don't know, but it is something to think about. It's a little bit, it gives you uneasiness, and you see every person he goes on there and he talks to and he does these things in front of, they are in shock and awe. I would just tell you, go down the rabbit hole and start watching these things and start seeing what he is doing. Either everybody is in on it and they have everything planned out perfectly with absolute precision, or Oz is on a next level and something more might be coming down the pike. All right. So if you've enjoyed this video, hit this one over here and I'll see you on the other side.